Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Desert Launch. My name is Ryan Reesbeck. We're here with Landon Gentry and Bobby Peterson of the Professional Long Drivers Association, brought to you by Unlocked Golf, helping you unlock the speed in your swing. We're at the home of Long Drive here at the Mesquite Event Sports Complex. The grid is laid out and the players are ready to go. Let's take a look at our first match. Brandon Flynn from Orlando, Florida, and Justin James from Ponte Vedra, Florida.
Yeah, so Brandon's actually an Air Force reservist, and he's got a great setup. Bobby, tell me what you see in his setup here.
Yeah, Brandon's kind of got a traditional swing. He gets a little motion in there for dynamic movement, and he's added a lot of speed actually compete in long drive and hits a lot of balls in play.
What are the expectations here in this match?
So I guess 5 out of 4 people are bad at math, but the expectations are that Brandon's going to flight a few balls down the grid, put up some big numbers, and Justin's obviously bringing the heat every time he's on the tee box. He's a very powerful guy, got some tremendous speed, so ought to be a good head-to-head battle right here.
Yeah,
Well,
that last one was a great drive right down the middle.
that's a good ball right there. Brandon came in with a 211.8 ball speed, put up a nice little number at 369. You know, being the eighth seed coming into the quarterfinals, going up against a world champ, he's probably got a little nerves, but he's definitely not showing it right here. I mean, that was a great ball right there.
369 yards. That's pretty solid given the conditions. The grass was very lush and the soft landing area. So 369, not getting much roll, but a very solid distance at this point in the competition.
I tell you right now, green light, red light. Green lights are good, and he's got 2 balls out of 3 in play to start with, so he's already put some pressure on Justin.
Yeah, Justin's up here. So we're going to rotate. We're going to go 3 balls each player twice. So each player will get 6 balls to hit in this match. Here's the first ball from Justin. Out left. Looks like it's coming back down the middle. We'll see what this yardage comes in at. But what speed numbers Justin's, he's a high ball speed guy too. That first one was 212.3. Not his best, but it's in play and it's 367. So he's nipping on the heels here of Brandon Flynn.
Yeah, that's a close match already at 2 yards separating them. It looks like Justin kind of comes over the top of this and hits it out there to the bathrooms.
And the conditions of the grid, very soft conditions, mostly an all carry grid, not a lot of roll. So 367, you're just looking for a couple more yards of carry to get that.
Yeah, all day the conditions have been, they've been pretty consistent. Earlier we had a little bit more wind. Right now it's about 5 to 6 miles an hour over our left shoulder here down the grid. So there's Justin sending another ball. That's kind of a low ball flight for Justin. Justin's typically a little bit higher ball flight guy. He's a high speed number guy. He likes to carry it, and that one was 365 right there.
Looks like he was trying to, willing that to stay in, and it did, but not giving him the result that he wanted. So Brandon here, I like you mentioned his dynamic movement. He's got a really nice setup. He's moving those feet a little bit, left the face open on that one. Let's see if it stays in. Looks like it probably down the line, close to the line.
Yeah, if he squares that one up, it probably floats on out there over 370. But he's letting it all hang out here. He knows that Justin's got 3 more balls after him, so he's trying to put a number out there for Justin to chase, build on his lead right here.
What's the approach in this situation for Brandon? He's got a 2-yard lead. I mean, he's not saving anything, right? He's not leaving anything in the tank. He's going to go after it.
Yeah, I don't think Brandon's got that mentality. I've spoken to him numerous times at past events and spoke with him a little bit earlier today, and he's just getting kind of locked in. He's been kind of the quiet guy today. I mean, he came in, like I said, the 8th seed into this quarterfinal match, so he's kind of flying under the radar a little bit, but he can definitely put a good move on it and get a big ball out there. So final ball here, let's see what he can do.
Yeah, I think he has to put up a solid swing, let the adrenaline add speed, and he connected on that one. You can see that ball flight drifting just a little bit left, so the spin axis had to be really good on that one. Oh, yeah, there you go. 373 yards. That's a huge number on this grid today.
That it's interesting to see that ball was more of a draw shot shape instead of a cut. In this wind that's a left to right, you'd think most players are going to try and hit a straight ball down the left side or the center and let it cut back, but he put a little draw on that. And that looks like that's kind of what Justin's trying to do here.
Yeah, and Justin, even though he was a 2017 world champ, he still feels pressure. He knows he's got to put a big ball out there. I mean, 373 at this point is a pretty good number. The wind is probably downwind off the left, maybe 4 or 5 miles an hour. So he knows he's not getting, too much help there. So he's got to put a big ball out there right now. I mean, he's hit a couple good ones, but having that 6 yard deficit right now, he's definitely going to go after it here. That ball is going to go OB right there. So he's down to his last ball. And
Yeah, that shot tracer tells the tale. You can kind of see the parabolic curve spinning up in the air. And if he can correct that, I mean, I think he'll get a lot more carry out of this.
Yeah, that path when he hits
Yeah,
is definitely left, and then it ends up on the right side of the grid.
yeah, and you see that big loop over and it rising up. That's too spinny. It's going to kick and run. They called it back OB. And I know it was down the right side. So great camera work by the lady down in the grid with the camera and catches it rolling out of bounds.
Well, match one goes to Brandon Flynn, the newcomer. Our next match, Will Hogue and Scotty Pierman. Will Hogue, the seasoned veteran. Scotty Pierman, fairly new to long drive, but he's got a couple of years under his belt, and those are good years. Actually, he's got a couple of belts, as he is the amateur long drive world champion the last 2 years. So Will's starting off good on this one, though. Look at that, right down the middle. Low apex, though.
Yeah, that ball speed was 218.9 right there for Will. So he's, Will's won here before. He's actually won here in 2018, and he's very familiar with this grid. You can see though, I mean, 218.9, and he went 367. So he's got to get that apex up a little bit higher and carry it a little bit further. So let's see what he can do with ball two.
Yeah, Will's working hard in the off season, as best he can. Stuck at home and was doing drills in the house, but I mean, he's come to play, that's for sure.
Yeah, he always looks like he's getting good shape, though. I mean, you see some of the workouts he's doing. I don't know if anybody else knows this, but Will can bench press a lot. He's got like a Tennessee state record in his weight class. Really strong guy, and speed as well as there. A lot of times we see players that are real muscular slow down, but he doesn't seem to be slowing down. He seems to be keeping his speeds at that high level.
Yeah, he's got trapped like a cobra. I tell you, I can attest to how much he benches. He did 410 at my house one night, 12:30 at night. Did it 3 times. You know why he did 410, Ryan?
No, because he was hungry and wanted to go to dinner.
Because that's all the weights I had.
Oh,
yeah.
So here's Scotty. So Scotty is like Ryan said, he's kind of a newcomer, but he's kind of not. He's got 2 amateur long drive championships. That first ball there goes OB. So Scotty's made a couple final 8s last year at the OSPS. The 4 events that we held there, and but Scotty's been putting in work. He's actually a FedEx driver, so
he came to deliver today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Scotty was working a little bit hard here. He's trying to control that draw that he has, and he tends to get a little jerky, get his hands too low, and spin axis left, and draw it. So he's trying to hold that face off a little bit, but still maintain the power. And he didn't do it on the first 2 swings there by turning it over and getting it out of bounds. But he's putting up some pretty serious numbers here.
One thing I notice about his setup here is his feet are not nearly as wide as some of the other players, but he does get to me, it looks like he gets his hands high in the top of the backswing.
Yeah, there's 3 ways to generate, obviously force is lateral, rotational, and vertical. And he brings his stance in narrow, gets a lot of rotational speed, not a lot of lateral movement. But when he connects on it, it goes away from here. He's been putting up about 218 ball speed.
He left his face open on that one.
Yeah, he just went OB 3 balls here. So Will's definitely got the advantage here. I mean, he's got that killer instinct. That was a pretty good ball right there. Let's see what the numbers are on that one.
Yeah, I know Will. He's going to try to put the dagger in him right here.
Yeah. So those numbers were 218.6. So he upped it a little bit to 369. Still low ball flight though, huh, Bob?
Yeah, he's just not getting it up into that wind. This mesa, you can't tell from this angle, but it's open behind the tee box. But that mesa runs down the left and then diagonally across the back of the grid, so it kind of changes wind direction at the end. So when you think it's blowing out, standing on that tee box, it's blowing across at the other end. So you got to kind of peak it, like that ball kind of peaked up over the top of the ridge line, but unfortunately he got it out of bounds on the left side.
All right, so he's down to his sixth ball, and let's see. I mean, we don't ever count Will out of doing something just crazy. I mean, he's always got that. He's got that six ball magic. He's been around, and he's going to let it all hang out here because he knows that Scotty's got three more.
Oof.
Oh,
Yeah,
That was definitely higher.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can
that-
see, like you said, Bob, if you look at the top of the mesa there, the other one's just barely got above the mesa, and that one, and he got 5 yards. He added 5 yards to
there you go.
his number there, and so
that's
it's
definitely going to put some
true.
pressure. That's definitely going to put some pressure on Scotty, knowing he's got three balls. So it'll be interesting to see how he reacts having three balls OB.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, he matched
Yeah.
that up good.
And
Yeah.
that
he
height
looks
was
like he
similar.
liked it.
The height was very
Ooh.
similar. Oh, and he got him
Wow.
381.
381. Wow.
381. That was 218.3.
Ouch.
So
Oh, there
he
it is.
definitely timed that one up.
292 apex. Yeah, that works.
Moving on to match number 3, Ryan Winther, a 2012 World Long Drive champion, going up against Josh Koch. Josh has really stepped it up the last couple of years. Since he started competing, he's a high ball speed guy. Winther loves this grid, though. Let's see his first swing here.
So that
Open
ball,
face there, yeah.
yeah. So Ryan, he's been around for a long time. He actually beat me in the semifinals in 2012 when he won. So he knows how to win here. He's been here numerous times. He's a Californian, and he's just looking for that one big ball. Ryan is not the guy that's going to put a lot of balls in play. Let's see if that one stays in. I don't know if that's going to be in or not.
Yeah, I remember an event when he won that world championship, he was actually hitting balls left towards the bathrooms. If you look, you'll see there a bathroom, a little white building off to the left of the grid, and he was starting them over there, and they were landing in the grid, in the middle of the grid. Maybe that's what he should try and do here, because it looks like those 3 balls off to the right.
Yeah, I think the big thing is Ryan just hasn't competed as much in the last few years. He's got a TV show and been capitalizing on that. I was on the USA long drive team with Ryan, and when he has his swing, he doesn't need to hit many balls in the grid because the one he hits in the grid is probably going to beat you. So here comes Josh. Josh's been working on some stuff, trying to generate some speed, and he's getting the balls into play. So that's a good start for him, especially after your competitor goes 0-3 on his first 3 balls. So he puts one right down the middle, and oh, there you go, 365 yards, which is pretty comparable to the other matches we've seen today. So putting a little pressure back on Ryan right to start with. Now he's got 5 more balls to just build on that lead.
Yeah, so that first ball there from Josh, that's pretty good ball speed, 217, 365. That's not a bad ball. That's kind of what we've seen all day. Looks like Josh's apex was 129, so it's a little low. The yardages are not really representative of the ball speed, but it just goes to show that the grid's not rolling out. I mean, it's get what you get today.
Yeah, I would take 217 ball speed all day. And I know Josh is one of these guys that sometimes he's up in the 220s with his ball speed. So maybe it's not high for Josh, but 217 is a really solid ball speed for others. And I think you're right. He's just not quite flighting the ball with the given conditions to get that extra, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards that he needs. So that one, he was trying to get that one to stay in play and see what the numbers come back at. It looks like it's OB as well. So Ryan Winther's got 3 shots here to try and surpass Josh Koch at 365. Definitely has the horsepower for it.
Yeah, and you can see he's really ballooning the ball up right there. He's got the face wide open.
It looks like he's swinging out to the left too, because his ball path, it starts down the middle It looks like it's going down the middle of the grid, but you're right, that face is just staying open.
Yeah, he's just got to shut the face a little bit, and there's another one. That's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Let's see what they say. Maybe that one stayed in. I don't know.
At this point in the match, and it was OB, so he's down to his last drive. Got to be feeling some pressure right here. I know that he's a world champion. He loves this grid, but he's got to be feeling a little bit of pressure right here. Do you try and swing harder? Do what do you do here? What's going through his mind?
I don't think swinging easy is going to help him, knowing Josh is behind him, and Ryan's not one to let up, and he just didn't square it up. He didn't make the right adjustment here. If he's going to hit that shot, he's got to line up a little more left, start that ball down the left side, and let it work.
So Josh Koch takes that match. Let's head into our final quarterfinals match here. We've got Reed Russell versus Kyle Berkshire, the 2019 World Long Drive Champion.
Yeah, Reed Russell's a newcomer to the sport. He came out to a PLDA amateur event last weekend, had some pretty fast ball speeds, and actually finished second in that event. Was encouraged by Alex Blozier and Brian Lawler to come out to Mesquite and try to qualify for Worlds, and coming right out of the gate, strapping it down the middle, and
216 ball speed on that one.
374. Yeah, that's a whirlwind. Coming from an amateur, he came out, did the qualifier on Friday, and qualified for the regionals on Saturday. Finished third in that's first alternate behind Landon Gentry and Aaron Hoffman, and here he is in the quarterfinals against Kyle Berkshire.
Yeah, that's a big time first ball. Reed is he's a ex-professional baseball player, played in the Houston Astros organization, so I'm sure he's used to some sort of these pressure situations. So that's a big first ball for him, I think, especially like Bobby said, coming from that PLDA amateur event to now hitting with the big boys and the best in the world against quite possibly the best in the world in Kyle Berkshire. That's a great first ball.
Well, Kyle is definitely on top this season. Last season, there's guys that I think are close, but I think he proved, like he did in the national championship, that he's just a little bit better than everybody right now. But that's it's impressive. It's impressive to see Reed out this quickly. I'm a firm believer there's guys out there that are just as fast as Reed, or if not faster, that can be competing at these high levels. They've just got to start competing in the sport. That first ball with Kyle, just out of bounds, a little low on the apex. Let's see. I mean, Kyle's a gamer. He comes up big in these situations quite a bit. Let's see what he does here on this next drive.
223 on that last ball, OB, right?
Definitely the fastest in these quarterfinal matches. This ball is coming back in down the right line, but definitely drawn in. A little iffy. He looked like maybe he was just kind of hoping it would come in.
Oh, there it is. There it is. 380.
What were the ball speed numbers on that one there?
224.8. Yeah.
Well, that's no surprise there from Kyle. He's kind of been around that 380 plus mark all day long. So he came in as a second seed, and Kyle's going to do what Kyle does. He's gonna swing as hard as possible. He's going to try to put the nail in the coffin early, and Kyle's a shark. He sees Reed as a rookie, so he's going to try to hurt his feelings. But from what Reed's shown so far, he's handling the pressure pretty good.
Well, he may have done it right there. 380. That's the second longest ball of the day, second only to a 381 by Scotty Pierman. So he's got his work cut out for him. Looks like he's reaching a little bit too there. His form kind of fell apart there in his follow through. I know if it were me, I would be trying to dig as deep as I could right here.
Yeah, this may be where his inexperience comes in. It's kind of a double-edged sword. You don't have high expectations because you haven't been in a situation before, but also you don't really have the understanding of a veteran up there of trying to stay solid and just swing fast as you can and connect on it. So
yeah, he looks like he took a big deep breath there. So he might be working a little fast here.
Yeah.
He's down to his last ball right now. He's got to do something big or he's going to be done.
Yeah, I spoke to his wife earlier, and she said in baseball, man, when he had to come through, with a home run or something like that, he was that guy that came through there at the end.
Well, here's
Let's
his
see what
last
he's
chance.
got here.
Yeah, his last
Yeah.
chance coming up right here.
Good setup. Good takeaway. Oof.
Oh,
There we
oh,
go.
that's a
That
good
ball
ball.
is definitely in
That's-
play.
Yeah, that's middle of the grid. It's where you want to be. Let's see what that.
Oh, 373. It's unfortunate he had to go up against Kyle in this set because he would have beat, a couple of the other competitors in the final 8 match play.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes. But Kyle Berkshire is going to take that win and move on to the semifinals.
Should be a good shootout in the semifinals. 4 strong competitors here. So looking forward to it.
That will do it for the quarterfinal matches of the Desert Launch event. Moving on tonight, Brandon Flynn, Scotty Pierman, Josh Koch, and Kyle Berkshire. A big thank you to all of our volunteers and sponsors to make this event happen. Signing off. Do you want me to say something else? What do you want me to say? We almost